thanks. I think very important inputs that I receive as the possibly as a product company. I would call myself right now, and I'm glad that my company is aligned to all these business needs currently when we look at that. This is now slightly moving away from the company perspective and looking at in general what is happening in the society in the industry currently. I will just want to address what Dr. Kalamkar first mentioned when he mentioned about that there is this requirement of purging the details about card details right in front of the auditors and stuff like that. Now that's a need which has been understood by Hitachi Vantara when we offer a platform which is called as the object storage platform, and on top of that we offer something which is called as the Hitachi content intelligence software, which helps you mask the data there, and then from that perspective you are able to use that. So I'm saying that the needs of the requirement of the industry is something which should match, as Mr. Sinha said right up front, that it is no longer something which has to be business driven. The strategy should begin from the perspective that there is a vision of the business to drive that digital transformation and to drive that digital journey. If there is no business vision which is there, there will be nothing that will get addressed about that. Now, if you look at what I mentioned in my last slide when I was talking about marrying the business outcomes to the technology is something that we also look at doing from that standpoint. So I think all the points that have been mentioned, and specifically what Amardeep mentioned when he spoke about that cloud is something that you just cannot miss right now. It suffice me to say that this is something that we realized some 2 or 3 years back, and we as Hitachi Vantara went ahead and acquired a company called Rain Cloud, which is REAN, the company which was based out of Pune, and we acquired that company specifically to help our customers go on the multi-cloud journey. What that company does is that company is the company which helps people transform their applications from where they are and make that cloud ready. Basically modernize the applications, help them migrate between one cloud to the other cloud, help them have multi-cloud as their targets and tenants. So that's what that company does. So from that standpoint, if you see, so that's the journey that we all are participating in, and we pride in taking part as in that journey from the perspective of taking you to a data-driven organization. We pride in ourselves by calling ourselves as a data-driven company. So that's what we are. Absolutely. While I might not have the right statistics to mention here, but look at the way that the what would the right word? The deluge of data. Let me call it the deluge of data that is happening at the edge right now. So the deluge of data, when I'm talking about that, I'm talking about a device which everybody holds in their hand, right from the mobile. But forget about that mobile, which is very ubiquitous right now. So let us not go there. Yes. Let's talk about something that we have not even witnessed, or we have possibly not even touched 10% of that surface right now. The electric cars and the cars which are the automated cars right now. Imagine the kind of data that they are throwing up in terms of the data to be analyzed, the data to be used, data to be predicted, data to be curated, data for that next decision to be taken when the car is being driven. Look at the kind of data access that is happening, and where is that data coming from? That data is coming right from the edge. That's exactly where, when we talk about the broadly, you could call it an IoT, but then there are applications which will get into that. It is an industrial IoT. It is an IoT from the medical standpoint. It is an IoT from the perspective of the cars, which is the automobile IoT or whatever. But there is broadly call it an IIoT, which is the industrial IoT. That's one space of the edge wherein we will see that deluge of data coming in from, and that's where comes the platform of Lumada that I was talking about comes into the play, and that's the platform that we've been using. I can give you an example, a very small example in terms of that. We do this with one of the largest. Actually, we spoke about that at a very big conference. So I think I can take that name. You all have been at some point in time to a place called Disneyland. Now, Disneyland had a very, very simple problem. Disneyland had a problem wherein they wanted to know that what is the best time for us to service a ride so that their revenues don't go down at any point in time. Hitachi Vantara came to their came as a consultant to them and started to work with them to give them that kind of a solution. Wherein what we did was that we analyzed the data from the perspective of the row of the queue that gets queued up at a particular ride, the time of that queue. Adding to that, we also looked at the the predictive nature of the failure that could be predicted from the perspective of all that signals from the machinery that were being captured, married the two, and then came to the decision of that this is the best downtime that you could possibly give to that ride. We experimented that in one of the Disney parks. We do this service for 15 Disney parks today across the globe right now. So that's the kind of work that when you talk about marrying the technology to the business and growing off that edge data and getting the benefit of that to the business, this is the best example that I can think of right now.